And welcome to lesson 4, which is called Get Rid of Anxiety and Stress. And anxiety and stress, so many people suffer with these sort of symptoms these days, and anxiety and stress, although it can be, cause a lot of physical symptoms, but often when it starts off, it's not necessarily a physical problem. Sometimes it can be a mental one, where you're just thinking the wrong way. So it's really about an internal sort of problem. And if you start thinking the wrong way about, life and about problems and about the way that you view different things, it can cause anxiety and stress. But and the word stress, especially these days, is just thrown about like we just have to put up with it, like it's just there. It's inevitable that everybody's going to get stressed. But I don't know if you've ever asked yourself the question about stress. Where does it come from? Because if I said to you, look, here's a tenner, go down the supermarket and buy me a bag of stress, you're going to be there quite a long time, because obviously it's not available to buy. So where does it come from? And I want to put to you really that I think stress is a lot of the time it's self-induced. It's because of the way that we are thinking, and then it produces different symptoms, sometimes physical, but sometimes it can just create such a bad attitude in us, all because we're thinking, the wrong way. So the problem is not about, just getting rid of all the problems and then won't be stressed. The real problem is changing the way that we think. And so this is what contentment does, because it's totally the opposite to any kind of anxiety and stress. And so what it does when you've got contentment, it results in there's no more worrying. So many of us these days are just worried about so much. Even when people have got nothing to worry about, they're worried about that, And again, what it is, it's about an adjustment on the inside. And if I say to you, I'll stop worrying, and a lot of the time people might say, well, that's easier said than done. But that's the first thing that needs to change, is the way that you're thinking about worry. It's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard to overcome. But all it is, it's not really, it's just an adjustment on the inside. That's what it is. And I promise you that if you put contentment into your life and just surrender to the way of contentment, make this sort of choice on the inside, rather than just sort of reacting at every sort of thing that sort of comes our way, you'll find that it really does start to work so powerfully, but yet so simply. And I think sometimes that's what it is. We're looking for some sort of big answer, or we need to go and see some, pay a lot of money to see a psychologist or whatever it may be, to sort out the problems that are going on inside our heads. And a lot of the time it's because we're rushing around so quickly and so busily these days that we don't stop just to sort of take a little bit of time. You can do it just by, even in the morning, for example, if you get up a certain time, why not get up? Or even if you don't get out of bed, but why not just get up or wake up about half hour beforehand and just sit there quietly in the silence, before anybody else gets up, before there's any phones ringing or the busyness of the day, just to find that time alone. And believe me, it really, really does help, because it helps you focus upon the things which are really, really important, which is you. And, so that's what it does. It's a good thing to start working on yourself, and get rid of anxiety and stress. And, it does gradually put an end to no more worrying, because now what has happened is, it's not that you're trying to push these things away from you, which is a lot of the time what happens when people want to stop worrying. They make a sort of determined effort, right, I'm not going to worry. But in actual fact, what it does, it creates more problems, because you're more focused upon not worrying. So what you really do, you sort of surrender or replace it with contentment. And that's what it does. So it's not about pushing something out of your life. It's really just about thinking a totally different way. And when you think that way, you'll find the feelings of anxiety and stress and worry and all those kind of things just disappear. They sort of float out the window without you trying so hard, which is sometimes what is recommended these days. We've got there's so many different things that you can go after, and especially with the amount of information that is available these days, who do you listen to? Do you listen to me? Do you listen to any other preacher, teacher, counsellor, advisor, all those kind of, the list is endless. But it's really about coming to the point where you're going to, find, the way that that works for you. And that's really what it's all about. So we don't want to be so much focused upon what's going on around us, let's focus upon the inside, because that's where contentment is. And I promise you, if you bump into someone who's got contentment, you really see the benefits of it. And the great thing is, see, nobody can buy it. Nobody can buy it from you. Nobody can take it from you, because it's something that is deep down on the inside that you found. And so it's not like a material possession. It's something it's a knowledge that is on the inside that just keeps on working and working, every day on your behalf, as long as you stick with it. And it's not that difficult. And as I say, it's the first thing to do. Don't think that this adjustment or this contented life, it's some sort of mystical life, or it's some sort of fantasy or dreamland. It's certainly not. It's one there that's been waiting for you to turn up and just engage in it. Because anyway, as I said, I think I said before in one of the other videos, it's not about rushing through this. Take your time. Go at the pace that is suitable to you. You don't have to do it at the same pace I do. That's not about, because as soon as you start comparing yourself with somebody else, then we've walked out of the way of contentment again. So what we want to do is keep on that. And so that's about this lesson 4. Get rid of anxiety and stress. No more worrying. And then after you've done that, contentment will replace the anxiety and stress. And that's just a wonderful way, as I said in the previous lesson, about a beautiful way to live called contentment. It's really lovely. So that's the end of section 1, and what we're going to do in the next video is move along to section 2. I'll see you there.